Have you ever met someone who always acts superior, never admits fault and constantly craves attention, but deep down something just feels off? They may wear a mask of confidence, arrogance, even dominance in every conversation, but if you look closely, you'll start to see the cracks. Narcissists are not as strong as they want you to believe. They are hiding a secret they desperately don't want anyone to uncover. Deep insecurity, and trust me, narcissists hate when this truth is exposed. So, in today's video, I'm revealing 5 undeniable signs that prove a narcissist isn't as powerful as they pretend to be, and once you recognize these signs, you'll never fall for their manipulation again. You'll learn why they can't handle other people's success, why they always try to tear you down, why they explode over the smallest criticism, and most importantly, why you can never change them. So if you've ever felt trapped in the toxic cycle of a narcissist, watch this video until the end. You'll not only see them for who they truly are, but you'll also learn how to protect yourself from their psychological games. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Let me tell you a story about my co-worker Mark. Mark is always bragging about his million-dollar projects, his powerful connections, the praise he supposedly gets from the boss that no one else ever hears. He's the loudest voice in the room, always making sure everyone knows how smart and successful he is. But something feels off. One day, the company announces the Employee of the Year awards, and guess what? Mark's name isn't on the list. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts. Mark forces a laugh and says the award is a joke, that the boss plays favorites, that this company doesn't know real talent. But just minutes later, I happen to walk past an empty conference room, and there he is, eyes red, fists clenched around his phone like he's about to break it. Turns out, Mark isn't as strong as he pretends to be. His oversized ego is nothing more than a fragile shield, desperately trying to hide his deep insecurity. And that's the thing about narcissists. Most people don't see through the act. So how can you tell when someone is secretly insecure despite their arrogance? Let's uncover 5 undeniable signs they don't want you to know. Sign 1. Constantly bragging about achievements. Think of someone you know, someone who just can't stop talking about their accomplishments. Every time you see them, they're telling you about the million-dollar deal they closed, the luxury vacation they just took, or the praise they got from the boss. At first, you might think they're just confident. You might even be a little impressed, but then you start to notice something strange. Truly confident people don't need to brag. People with solid self-esteem don't feel the need to shout their worth to the world. But narcissists? They are obsessed with proving their value to others, because deep down, they don't actually believe in their own worth. Studies have shown that narcissists depend on external validation to regulate their self-esteem. They can't generate a stable sense of self-worth on their own, so they need you. They need your approval, your admiration, your recognition to temporarily feel good about themselves. And here's the scariest part. If you don't react the way they want, they'll lash out. If you ignore them, they'll find a way to pull your attention back. If you don't give them the praise they crave, they might try to tear you down or make you feel small, not because they're better than you, but because they fear the reality that they're not as special as they want to believe. So how do you spot a narcissist who's bragging out of insecurity rather than genuine confidence? It's simple. Truly successful people don't need to prove it to everyone. Confident people don't need your validation because they've already validated themselves. But a narcissist? Without validation, they crumble. And that's why they never stop. Ready for the next sign? Let's keep going. Sign 2. They can't stand when others succeed. Have you ever shared an important achievement, a new job, a successful project, or even just a personal win, only to receive an awkward, half-hearted response? They force a smile, nod unenthusiastically, or worse, change the subject entirely. Sometimes they might even try to downplay your success with a casual, "Oh, that's cool, but I did something like that years ago." Why? Because narcissists can't stand seeing others succeed. To them, success isn't something to celebrate together, it's a competition they have to win. And when they see you achieve something, they don't view it as your victory, they see it as their loss. They never feel good enough. They mask it with arrogance, but deep down, they live in constant fear of being insignificant, of being seen as lesser. So when you succeed, instead of feeling happy for you, they feel threatened. This is why they'll go out of their way to tear you down, subtly or outright. They might give a backhanded compliment like, "Wow, I'm surprised you pulled that off," implying they never thought you were capable. They might immediately redirect the conversation to their own achievements, making sure you don't get a moment in the spotlight. Or worse, they might try to plant doubt in your mind by saying things like, "Are you sure you really deserved that?" They don't do this because they're better than you. They do it because they can't handle the idea that you have something they don't. True self-satisfaction. Truly confident people aren't threatened by someone else's success. They understand that their worth isn't defined by who's better or worse. But narcissists, they are obsessed with comparison because they can't generate self-worth from within. So if you notice someone always getting uncomfortable when you succeed, remember, it's not about you, it's about them. They don't hate you, they hate feeling like they're losing. Have you ever met someone like this? Drop your story in the comments. And now, let's move on to the next sign, one that narcissists desperately hope you never recognize. Sign 3. Blaming others and avoiding responsibility. Ever met someone who, no matter what happens, is always the victim? If something goes wrong, it's someone else's fault. If they fail at something, it's because of unfair circumstances. If they hurt someone, it's because that person was too sensitive. No matter the situation, a narcissist will never take responsibility. Picture this. A co-worker gets criticized by the boss for poor performance. A normal person might acknowledge their mistakes and work to improve, but not a narcissist. Immediately they react. "The boss clearly has it out for me," or "if my team hadn't screwed things up, I would have done great." They're not just making excuses, they're rewriting reality. In their mind, admitting fault is simply not an option, because that would mean they aren't perfect. And a narcissist cannot accept a world where they aren't the smartest, most capable, most superior person in the room, so when things don't go their way, they have to find someone else to blame. They'll manipulate you into thinking you were the problem. They'll twist the story to paint themselves as the victim. And, if you dare call them out, get ready. Either they'll explode in rage, or they'll punish you with silence and emotional distance. But here's what you need to remember. Truly strong people don't fear admitting mistakes. They see failure as an opportunity to grow, not as a threat to their self-worth. A narcissist, they would rather distort the truth than accept a single crack in their perfect image. If you've ever dealt with someone like this, drop a 1 in the comments right now. And now, let's move on to the next sign. One narcissists absolutely never want you to recognize. Sign 4. They are never truly happy. Ever met someone who seems to have it all, yet no matter what, they never seem truly happy? Maybe they have the dream job, the perfect house, the picture-perfect relationships. They flood social media with glamorous photos, showing off extravagant parties, luxury vacations. But when you look in their eyes, when you really listen to them, there's an emptiness they can never seem to fill. This is the narcissist, and they don't know what real happiness feels like. To them, happiness isn't gratitude, peace, or true joy from life's simple moments. Happiness is a chase, a never-ending pursuit to fill a void they refuse to acknowledge. They chase money, fame, status, but the moment they get it, they feel more empty than ever. So they set a new goal, a new achievement, a new source of attention to make themselves feel okay again. But it never lasts. It's like drinking salt water to quench thirst. The more they consume, the thirstier they get. You'll notice they always need something bigger, better, grander, because if they stop chasing, if they slow down, they'll have to face their true self, and that is their greatest fear. This is why they can have everything yet still envy others, why they always want more yet never feel fulfilled, why even when they post their biggest smiles online, you can still sense that deep down they're never truly happy. People who are truly happy don't need to prove it to the world. They feel it within. But a narcissist? They will spend their entire life searching for something they will never truly have. If you've ever met someone like this, drop a 2 in the comments right now. And next, let's move on to the final sign, the one sign that completely exposes a narcissist's deepest insecurity. Sign 5. The narcissistic rage. Have you ever said something completely harmless, a question, a simple remark, and suddenly the person in front of you explodes like a bomb? Maybe you just asked, "Are you sure about that?" Or, "Why did you do it that way?" And before you know it, they're shouting, furious, eyes burning with rage, as if you just insulted them in the worst possible way. This is narcissistic rage, and it is not normal. These outbursts aren't just emotional reactions. They are extreme defense mechanisms. When you accidentally hit a nerve, when you threaten the perfect image they've built, they cannot handle it. So they explode to make you afraid, confused, and silent. They want you to feel guilty, to feel like you were the one in the wrong, so they can regain control. But if you look closely, their rage isn't power, it's fear. They fear being exposed. They fear being criticized. They fear that if someone looks too closely, they'll see the emptiness, the insecurity they've been trying to hide their entire life. And the worst part? Narcissistic rage isn't always loud. Some narcissists don't yell or throw things. They use silence as a weapon. They suddenly become cold, distant, making you feel punished without even knowing why. This is the silent version of their rage, and it can be even more dangerous than shouting. Truly confident people don't react this way. They don't need to intimidate or manipulate others to feel powerful. But a narcissist? They need your fear to cover up their own weakness. If you've ever faced a narcissist's rage, you know how terrifying it can be. It can leave you shaken, questioning yourself, wondering if you actually did something wrong. But here's the truth. Their rage is not about you, it's about them. Clinical psychologist Dr. Ramani Duvasula, one of the leading experts on narcissism, once said, "Narcissistic rage is a toddler tantrum in an adult body." So how do you protect yourself without falling into their trap? First, don't react the way they want you to. Narcissists crave an emotional reaction from you. They want fear, they want you to apologize, they want you to feel guilty even when you've done nothing wrong. Don't give them that. Stay calm, control your emotions, and don't let them manipulate you. Second, don't try to reason with them. When they're in a rage, logic doesn't matter. The more you try to explain yourself, the more they push back. Psychologist Dr. Jordan Peterson once said, "You can't reason with someone who thrives on chaos." And most importantly, know when to walk away. There is no rule that says you have to stand there and take their outburst. If you feel disrespected, manipulated, or threatened, leave. They will try to pull you back, but you owe them no explanation. Protecting yourself isn't weakness, it's strength. And the greatest power you have is refusing to let a narcissist control your emotions. If you agree, comment, "I choose to protect myself right now." Now you know the truth. Narcissists are not as strong as they want you to believe. They are not truly confident, not truly happy, and most importantly, they do not have control over you. They brag because they crave validation. They tear down your success because they fear feeling inferior. They blame others to protect their fragile ego. They are never truly happy because nothing can fill the void inside them. And when they rage, it's not power, it's fear of being exposed. But here's what you must remember. Their insecurity is not your burden to carry. You can't change them, but you can protect yourself. You can recognize the signs, set clear boundaries, and most importantly, never let them define your worth. Psychologist Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." You are not trapped. You have a choice. Today you've seen the truth, and the truth is freedom. If this video helped you see things more clearly, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe for more content to help you reclaim your power. You deserve respect. You deserve peace. Protect it.